Well, I just think, it's we just talked about it here. We were very inconsistent tonight. That's what we've been talking about, for the last 2 weeks. In all three phases, we did some really, really good things at times on offense, defense, and special teams, and we did some awful things. When you get out on the road, you can't get down 14 points and come roaring back, and then have some things that some other plays that just were inconsistent. So for us to be a better team, our consistency, our level of consistent play across the board needs to be better.
Given that you had harped on that very thing
Yep.
throughout the offseason, are you surprised that it wasn't better?
Yeah, I am. But you know what? We got to go back to work. And we had this discussion in here about consistency. And there's some great plays, and then there's some that don't make any sense. So, that means I got to do a better job with what's happening in practice, and it starts with me. But you guys got to pay attention to details, and it'll end up costing you in close games, just like it did today.
Coach, how frustrating is it to have a defense that continues to turn over another team 6 times over the course of a game and still come up short?
Yeah, I mean, that's like I said, it takes all three phases for this to happen, right? We could take the first series of the game, first 2 series, we get an interception, and we don't capitalize on that, right? That can change a whole, particularly on the road. That can change momentum, can do a lot of different things. And instead we have to punt. We were inconsistent special teams wise today with punting, and we gave up a big return on a kickoff return. So, field position was a big deal tonight. We had some long fields, but even with the turnovers, that's where we were able to capitalize because of a shorter field.
Jason Whitaker, 2 interceptions, first game back. What do you make of his performance?
Well, you heard what I said during camp. He definitely makes a difference for us. He's a coach on the field. He's a leader. The first play was just a great play, first interception. So, he's a guy that we're going to lean on heavily. And you see his experience, particularly with some of those younger guys out there. And he's going to have to continue to be a leader for us, as we go forward.
What happened on the field goal that called out?
Well, I got to be careful how I say it, because if you're talking about penalties or things like that, but there was some simulation of snap count that was going on, and particularly with a new player like Jordan Morgan, that's I just asked him what's going on. So that's but they said they couldn't hear it, the officials couldn't hear it. So that's happened before, but obviously there was a real problem with what was happening there, and I can only tell you what he said.
Why use a timeout then at that point?
Because to
Wanna
make
settle
sure,
guys down, or?
well, 2 things. It was, we had to make sure of the range, which obviously Lucas has enough range, but you're starting to get to 53. But it's also 4th and 4, right? And just to settle people down, figure out what's going on, because we just keep moving back and forth. The crowd was going crazy. You got a young guy out there, and so we used that right there just to make sure of the decision.
Did you find it odd that Coach Rolovich pulled McDonald that late in the game?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know what happened, if he was still on the sideline. I know he took a shot from Jalen right before that too. So I don't know.
6 on their side, third. I think you have 14 receptions, 224. What made it a pace fast?
I mean, really fast, and he got deep on us more than a couple times, and then he's got great quickness, and it's hard to tackle. He's a good player, but they exploited us when we got into some man-to-man, and he became the deep guy. I mean, he just ran right by us. So he's a good player.
You had high hopes for the pass rush.
Right.
Guys like Jake Brown and Jalen
Right.
Harris having great camps.
Right.
And then they couldn't get to it.
Right.
So
And I think,
maybe toward the end of the game, why do you think that was the
well,
case?
I think their game plan was pretty obvious, that they were getting the ball out of his hands quick, and there were a lot of underneath throws, a lot of just catch and out of the gun and throw it quickly. And they were patient. And then when we played man-to-man, he's getting the ball out of his hands the same way. He was just on go routes. And so they got the ball out of his hands when they held it. You know, we were able to do some things a little bit differently. But they sprint him out on third down or fourth down, and get him out of the pocket a couple times. So they had a nice plan. That's what they do. Get the ball out quick. You have to cover them, and you got to tackle in open space. And we did that sometimes and got off the field, but we didn't do it consistently.
Is that why you didn't rush that many guys? Because they were going to get the ball?
Well, we didn't. We went back and forth. You know, we blitzed. We played. We went with a 4 down. We went 3 down, dropped 8. We had to change it up on. He's an experienced quarterback, and you know, he was extremely accurate tonight.
How do you process a game like the one Khalil had? He passed for 368 yards. He rushed for over 100 yards. But he also threw, you know, an interception in the red zone.
Right.
How do you process
Well,
it?
you got to process it, right? You got to go back and look at it, and you got to talk with him, right, about where we are. It's like everything else. I got to watch it. You know, I told you that. I'm not making excuses. I got to watch it and evaluate it, and then, you know, those are questions I answer a little bit better on Tuesday, just because the analysis of, all right, where are you going with the ball? What are you seeing here? You're running here. You know, you did a nice job. So, you know, I just got to look at it.
Did you think he was going to score on the last play from your vantage?
Well, we had a conversation on the sideline, right? And the way the rule works is to remind him that if it's under 3 seconds, right, you can't spike the ball and get another play. Okay, so you got 10 seconds. You got 2 plays if we get a quick one on the sideline, and we didn't get it when he took off. I mean, it was all or nothing at that point. And you know, it was a really good effort by them. What was the ball? 1? I couldn't.
1 yard line.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So, you know, it's just, you know, it's a good effort by him, and it's just short.
Would you have gone for 2 if you had scored?
It was a discussion early in the fourth quarter. Let's put it that way.